Ma'am, one of the things that you told us about was that you reached your opinion, whatever opinion that may be, by reviewing documents, correct?
Good afternoon, Mr. Martinez. Yes, by reviewing documents.
Did you review documents?
Your Honor, I need to expand it. It's not just documents that I reviewed, it was other things.
Yes. Dr. Fonseca, can you answer his question, yes or no?
It would be a distortion and mischaracterization if I answered it yes, Your Honor.
All right.
So you did not review any documents in this case. For example...
Objection asked and answered, Your Honor.
Example, exhibit number 71. Did you review that?
May I see it? May I see it, please? I don't...
Right there. Did you review this? Where he says, you know, things like, I'm nothing more than a dildo with a heartbeat. Or he says,
Objection argumentative, there's no
you aren't
question.
just a piece of meat. Did you review this document?
I didn't hear what the...
Please repeat your question.
Did you review documents?
Yes, I did, Mr. Martinez.
And did you review text messages?
Yes, I did, Mr. Martinez.
Did you review instant messages?
Yes, I did.
And did you review audio recordings, for example?
Yes, I did.
You reviewed, for example, the defendant's statements, didn't you?
Yes.
You reviewed the statements that she made to, for example, Detective Flores, right?
Yes.
That the statements where she lied. That's what you told us before, right?
Or she changed her story, that's correct.
So it's a change of story. Didn't you use the word lie before?
Yes.
All right, so now, which one is it? She changed her story or she lied?
Objection
Both.
argumentative.
Overruled.
It's both.
It's both.
It's both.
You also reviewed an audio recording involving the defendant and Mr. Alexander, correct?
Yes.
And that was recorded on May 10th of 2008, right?
It was in May of 2008. I don't know the exact date, but it was in May of 2008,
So what
Mr.
you're saying
Martinez.
is you don't
Mr.
remember-
Martinez, I'd like to finish my response, please.
Judge, she's being unresponsive.
She's
Yes,
answered
let
the
her finish
question.
let her finish her response. Finish
Thank
your
you, Your
response.
Honor. Yes, I did, Mr. Martinez.
So you did review, you don't know the exact date though, right?
It's May of 2008.
That means you don't know the exact date, right?
That's correct. I don't know the exact date, but I do know the month and the year. Mr. Martinez, I would like to finish my response, please.
Yes. Let her finish her response.
Thank you.
Next question.
Thank you.
Isn't it true that you do not know the exact date, right?
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
The exact date, not the day, but the month and the year.
Right. And with regard to this instant message, you do know the exact date because that's written on the document, right?
I believe I read it for the court when I was testifying a little bit earlier. Yes, that's
So the
correct.
answer is, that's how you know the date, right?
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
Right?
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
That's correct.
And wouldn't you agree that a context or when a statement was made in relationship to another statement, given that that's what you did in this case, is important?
Yes, I would say by and large that's true.
And in this particular case, wouldn't it also be important if this was recorded on May 10th to know that the defendant reported in which this came from stolen?
Objection relevance.
Overruled.
I didn't hear your full question. Could you please, Mr. Martinez? We're going to go at it, but I need to hear me, and I'd like to hear you. Sir, I could not hear you. If you could just speak up a little bit more, sir, please.
Would you consider it important
Thank you.
to know that this telephone that contained this audio recording was stolen, reported stolen by the defendant? Would you consider that important?
I may or may not, depending on the context.
Well, if this recording turns up many years later from a phone that's been reported stolen, one of the inferences is that the defendant lied about it being stolen, right?
Your Honor, mischaracterizes evidence.
Overruled. You may answer.
Let me ask you first, I'm not understanding, I understand you are to ask the please let me finish, I just simply want to get some
Do
clarification.
you understand the question, yes or no?
I don't understand which recording you're speaking of.
Were you told before you came in here that that conversation that you relied upon came from a telephone that was reported stolen by the defendant?
Objection, relevance, privilege.
Approach.
And you indicated that the phone being stolen might be something that would be important to you, right?
Objection mischaracterizes her testimony.
Overruled. You may answer.
No, that was wrong. I did not say that, Mr. Martinez. I said it depended on the context of the phone, if it was stolen.
So, for example, if the defendant reported stolen and it wasn't stolen, that would be important, wouldn't it? Because it would indicate a lie.
Objection, Your Honor. May we approach?
You may approach.
You don't know whether or not Mr. Alexander agreed to be taped, do you?
That's correct.
So it could be a situation where the defendant took it upon herself for whatever reason to tape this unbeknownst to him.
Objection calls for speculation. Counsel is testifying.
Approach, please.
And the defendant could have tape recorded Mr. Alexander or the conversation for a number of reasons, right?
I have no idea.
Even though you reviewed all of the documents and were able to tell us before what the defendant was thinking, you can't tell us the reason why she reported this telephone call based on the review of all of the documents. Can you?
Objection, ask and answer. Counsel is again testifying.
Overruled. You may answer.
You can't, can you?
Could you repeat the question, please?
You can't tell us any reason or the reason why the defendant tape recorded this conversation, even though you reviewed all of the documents in this case, right?
That's correct. I never purported to.
And so the answer is no, right?
That's correct.